Hey everybody, welcome to the podcast. I'm here with my good friend Jasmin Lytle. Jasmin's got a unique story. She's a local girl here. She's got an entrepreneur business owner, and she's just a wonderful person, but she's had a near-death experience and all those kind of things. But Jasmin, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 26 years old. I am from Virginia Beach.
Okay.
And I moved up here just a couple months after I was born.
Sure.
Moved to McDowell County.
McDowell County.
McDowell County.
That's close to Nebo, ain't it?
Yeah.
That's a long way from Virginia Beach.
It is.
No water up there. So you moved there to McDowell County and
Yes.
And keep going.
I went to McDowell High School.
Okay.
Graduated 2015. And I have been in a family-owned business for about 14 years, a little over 14 years.
Now, what is the family business?
So when we first started, it was Jasmin's Consignment Shop.
Okay.
We did consignment.
Right.
You know, consignment.
Now, let's stop right there. Now, you said you've been in business for 14 years.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I could honestly say I thought you was about 18. So y'all started this business when you was 4? No, you're older than that, right? You're
Yeah.
26, right? Okay, yeah. First time I met Jasmin down at the festival down in Morganton and stuff like that on the square, I thought, well, here's this kid coming up to me, but she's 26, and it seems so young. So I'm just making a joke.
I got that baby face.
Got that baby face, but you've been doing this for a while in
Yes.
fashions. Now,
Yes, sir.
you love doing that with the
Yes.
family. So
Yes.
how did you do that?
Well, my mom and my grandmother, they started out in a little tiny store, and my mom was just taking people's clothes, like her friends' clothes.
Right.
And they were bringing them to her, and she would sell them for them. And then our little tiny spot started growing and
Awesome.
growing. And then here we ended up, maybe 5-10 years later, about 5,000 consigners and a big
Wow. Now, what's your mom's name?
Alicia Tweedy.
Okay, great.
Mm-hmm.
It's wonderful to have family and family business that supports and starts. It helps you, especially as a young age. So you got all these people that are contacting y'all for fashion. Now, is consignment?
Mm-hmm.
Is it just now? Where do you get your stock and those kind of things? Because y'all got some very unique things.
So people would just come in, and bring their stuff in. We would start out about 25 to 30 items and see how it would go. And then we'd give it about 30 days, and then they would come and get a check once a month,
Right.
But then as we grew, we started to have to put a minimum on it. So it
Right.
would be 200, 300 as a minimum that you can get a check once a month. And so people just started bringing them in, and it was really booming.
Wow, man, that's amazing. It's a lot of people don't realize in business and stuff like that, starting business, if you can just start with a little passion, a little dream, lemonade stand,
Yes.
and you're faithful over it, and you greet people and you give them good service, it increases. People want service and they want fashion and things like that. But your story also, Jasmin, you've come through a lot. I mean, we was talking earlier about the near-death experience. I mean, here you are, you move up here and you camping, if I'm not mistaken. You tell the story, but get shot in the head and a lot of stuff you don't remember after that happened. You were up here camping in the gorge.
Yes.
And tell me that story, because that's amazing that you survived that.
So, if I'm not mistaken, it's going on 5 years, close to around my birthday.
Right.
I was about 21.
Mm-hmm.
Just got back from an amazing family beach trip. It was the best.
Right.
And my fiance and his family wanted to take me camping because I love
Right.
camping for my birthday. And so we went up there and we were camping, and all I know is that the people beside us started getting rowdy, and they ended up someone having a gun, and someone
man.
ended up shooting the gun, and one of the bullets had ricocheted, and it hit me in the back of my head. And so
Wow.
like I said, all this is from what everybody, my mom and my fiance
Right.
have told me. So
Sure.
he told me that I literally passed out over on a log.
Wow.
And he runs over and he starts shaking me, you know, like trying to get me back. And I'm like unconscious, you know. And so
They didn't know what happened, probably.
no. So he was like, well, let me sit her down in the car. And whenever he sat me down, he had his hand right here. And when he moved his hand back, he saw blood. And he told his grandma and his uncle, Jasmine's got blood in the back of her head. I don't know what's going on. I'm taking her to the hospital. Wow. So we were on Wiseman's View. And if anyone knows Wiseman's View around here, that is one heck of a mountain.
I tell you, that's crazy because that's one of my favorite places is Wiseman's View.
It's beautiful.
I take people there all the time. It's pretty in the Grand Canyon, I think. But you're right across the 105, the ridge line of the mountain there. So you're down in there. You're past Linville Falls and the ranger station and all that kind of stuff. It's a safe area, but man, wow. So you had to come out of all there and
so he put me in the car. He rushed me down the mountain and he gets me to the hospital. And that's whenever he calls my mom. My mom gets a call at like 2 o'clock in the morning and he's like, Jasmine's in the hospital. I don't know what's going on. You need to get over here. And so by then mom gets there and if I'm not mistaken, the doctor just came out and told her that there are bullet fragments pieces in her hair.
Wow.
That we don't know what's going on, but we're going to go back there and take her in there. And so when they did that, a couple hours later, they come back out and they said, Jasmine's being airlifted in a helicopter right now to Charlotte. We don't know if she's going to make it. You're going to need to make some hardcore decisions by then. And so my mama just like hit the floor. Hit the floor and started praying and messaging everybody and was like, please pray for my daughter. Please pray for Jasmine. Just hundreds of people was praying for me. I had a football team praying for me. I had people everywhere that was praying for me that night. And
power of prayer.
Whew, I'm telling you what.
Need it then.
She needed it and I needed it. And my family has always been very, very, on prayer, And we've been through some hard times and prayer has really gotten us through in our life.
You there.
And so they get to Charlotte and a couple hours later, they start telling my mom, okay, she's going to probably be on a ventilator. She's going to probably need this. She's probably going to do this. She's probably going to be in a coma. Like just listing all the bad things that is possibly going to be happening to me and might not even make it through.
And they still don't even know what has happened, really.
Yeah. Well, what happened was...
I mean, they knew something. Yeah, but I mean, wow.
So finally... that what ended up happening was it was a 380 caliber. A 380 caliber had hit me right here in the back of my head right here. And they were able to get it out, but there was still fragment pieces that was in my head still.
Right.
And they weren't able to get it out because if they would, it would damage my brain. And I could die like right then.
Wow.
So I've had to have those pieces in my head all these years, and they were like, basically, you're just gonna have to let it flow out of it. Just let it come out naturally, and it still comes out. I still have fragment pieces coming out of my head. It's like little tiny, but
man, that is amazing, Jasmine. So the recovery and stuff like that, how did you make it through that? What was the time frame and coming through that and getting your senses back and getting back and recovering?
So, I was in the hospital for about a week, and they sent me home, and I literally had to learn everything on my own. I had a tingling sensation from my finger all the way up to my shoulders. I couldn't feel anything. Like the doctor was literally poking my finger with a needle, and I was not feeling it at all. I had, which is probably the reason why, but I had a neck brace on during the hospital time. Oh my gosh, this is so funny. I got to tell you this. Okay. So while I was in the hospital, sorry, I will do that.
That's all right.
But oh my gosh, this is so funny. I was in the hospital, right? And I wasn't supposed to have my phone because during that time, like I couldn't like look at the phone a lot,
right,
is what they said. I had like a short period of time, so my mom would give me like these little 30-minute little moments
sessions.
She was like, here's your phone, because I'm like, I gotta have my phone. So I got on live on Facebook,
right,
and I'm in the hospital, and I'm all drugged up,
right,
and they bring me Fruit Loops.
Okay.
And let me tell you, that was the best milk and Fruit Loops in my entire life in the hospital.
Toucan Sam knows, baby. All you knows, man.
But the eggs and the oranges, fake.
Yeah.
Tasted fake.
Oh,
I was so mad.
Hospital food. Hey, I know when I had my open heart surgery and they flew me down to Baptist, Jasmin, after 10 days, I was ready to jump off the roof. I mean, you just, get me out of this hospital food. They waking you up during all hours and nights. But enough about that. Just your recovery is amazing, and to see where you're at now, because now, like I ran into you at the downtown, and you're so lit up. You got a smile on your face. You got a joy. You've gone through some hard things like that, but you come out on top. And, that reflection, people need that. They need to hear stories like this. And, what's some of the other things that you've wanted to do, Jasmin, since that? Because I know, like me, you realize how temporary life is and how quick things can change. It changes your whole family.
Yes.
You got to depend on God, in my mind.
Yes.
But what are some of the things you're wanting to see now, and changes and things that you see and that you're excited about?
Well, I've been having like a bucket list on like stuff that I've been wanting to do since, it's been happening.
I like a bucket list at 26 years old. Now, that sounds like my kind of bucket list, Well, don't wait till you get old like me, do it while you're young, right? So, So what's first on the list?
Well, so my first thing was like, as soon as I was starting to get better and stuff, I was like, okay, my first thing is I want to do like go-karts, or I want to do like trampolines. So I did a trampoline.
Oh man.
Because when you have a head injury, you have to be careful.
Yeah, trampoline. You picking a trampoline, man. I've been bent sideways on a trampoline.
And do remind you, like, this is like a couple years after my surgery.
Sure.
But I did that, and it felt so good. Like, I know that sounds so kiddish, but to me, it was something that, like, I got to accomplish because, having a brain injury, something like that is just something most brain injury people don't get to do.
Exactly.
And go-karts for that, too.
Right, exactly. I know. I'm a rubber and then bumper, So tell me, Jasmin, let's talk a little bit about your business and your family business and things like that. Y'all are here in Morganton, and I know you're downtown, but y'all are moving, and kind of what's some of the specialties? What are some of the things, the niches that you guys offer to people that can kind of showcase y'all's business?
Well, since from Burtmont Avenue, when COVID hit, that's another thing. When COVID hit, we had to switch gears a little bit because consignment wasn't going the way that it was going anymore, because a lot of people were scared to get, people's clothes, used clothes. But we were a high-end consignment. We took stuff brand new with tags on it, but we still knew, that's coming from somebody. So me and my mom sat down and were like, okay, while this is going on, we need to, figure out what we got to do. So that's whenever we started looking into the boutique world and started, seeing if we could do consignment and boutique. Well, it wasn't really flowing like that. We had to pick because of our systems. So we started going with boutique because it started to sell. So now we changed it up to Jazzys Boutique.
All right. I like that.
And so we carry all sizes from extra small all the way up to even 4 to 6X too.
Right.
I've had a lot of ladies who have been, I wear 4, 5, 6X, and I can't find boutique clothes around here like that.
Right.
I'm having to go to South Carolina or, special places.
Yeah.
So I wanted to extend that on too.
Yeah.
So that's what we've been doing, and it's been working really good.
Well, man, that's awesome. It's real inspiring. So many people need inspiration for business and, and those kind of things, and you've had to adapt and move on, especially through COVID. and all those kind of things. Jasmin, you're an inspiration to young ladies. I love to see, people who are entrepreneurial and upcoming, and how I can support them and how the community can support them. What would you say to some of the, some of your younger friends or ladies, or how would you inspire them, or what were some of the things that you'd maybe say that you would mentor them and say, hey, you can do this, girls, or whoever, not just girls, boys, anybody?
I would just, you got to have that mindset, you got to have that dedication, and you got to have that willpower. I mean, there's sometimes, me and my mom, we have sat in the back of the room and we've cried and we've prayed and we've been like, Lord, just everything getting us down, and we just always have kept that strength. So what I would say is just always keep that mindset, keep that head on.
Yeah.
Me and my mom, we are up till like 3-4 o'clock in the morning just looking at clothes, just finding stuff for inventory.
It's passion.
It's dedication. And if it's something that you love,
right,
go for it and strive for it, and you'll succeed.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah. I tell people that all the time. I wish they taught that in school. They don't really, they kind of teach you the basics, but they don't really teach you, find, where you really fit in at. And a lot of times you're too busy socializing in school to realize what the education means.
Exactly.
But yeah, I'm like you, if you've got a passion for something, there's a college of thought for that passion.
Yes.
If it's weed eating, there's a college for weed eating, believe it or not, landscaping, horticulture, anything, and so you try to find people like yourself that's got passion for different things. And thankfully you had your mom, and people don't realize how important it is to have somebody that connect with,
yes,
agree with,
exactly.
Like the Bible says, one will put 1,000 fight, two will put 10,000, and you have that prayer and agreement and prayer and business and encouragement. It's easier to go into a room that's dark with a little kid and then by yourself.
Exactly.
I don't know why that is, but God
it's just
put
to
that.
have that someone there,
Right, somebody here, take the kid. I'm going. I'm out of here. That's the way I would do, but no, I'm teasing. But Jasmin, I'm so proud of seeing you and what you've overcome and all those kind of things. And that's what young people need. They need somebody that to realize it's not always easy in life. It's hard.
Yes, it is.
It is a struggle, but through all that, you can rise up.
Yes, there's greatness.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hope you're enjoying the podcast. I'm here with Jasmin Lytle. Jasmin, let's talk about, coming from another place to here. A lot of people are coming to Morganton. Mm-hmm. I love Morganton Live and all the things that we're trying to do with music and food and the next generation. To me, it's all about the next generation having the best. I miss a lot of things from some of the bigger towns. I'm from the Rock Hill, Charlotte area, but I've always believed I was supposed to be here in Morganton. When I moved here, I love the mountains. I always went down to the beach,
yes.
So I can relate to the beach. I was a Myrtle Beach, Folly Beach, Charleston person myself growing up there. But when I come to the mountains here, I love it here. And it's so beautiful. And then when I see people like you out on the square and just shining bright, you got a business and just the fabric of our community, I believe God is doing something here. It starts with all of us, and especially your generation, the next generation. I want to see, things for our kids and those kind of things. But what's some of the things that, that you would like to see, from your generation, from your perspective as a 26-year-old businesswoman?
I just want to see small businesses grow. COVID really did hardcore on small businesses, and a lot of people have had to shut down, and I'm just so very blessed that we was, making it through that time. And so
it's hard.
It is. That's my main thing, is just making sure that people support small businesses. I know, especially in the boutique world, it has been expanded. I mean, everybody's starting up a boutique. Everybody wants to start up a boutique,
everybody wants to do that.
But support your hometown family too.
Right.
Everybody has something different. We have something different. Somebody else down the street has something different.
Exactly.
But make sure that you're supporting your hometown, because that's our livelihood, and
Exactly.
that helps us.
Exactly. I believe that wholeheartedly, Jasmine, because, I go to the farmer's market, on Saturday, and they got one here on Wednesdays, and all the stores. I like to shop in, Adam Mackey and Molly at West Union Art Galleries and Studios with the pottery and stuff, and all the businesses. But Swedes Cafe and the general store there, and you go in those places, I like to pick up little things. If you got $20 in your pocket, spend it somewhere, and you're going to spend it on a coffee somewhere else. But, go in these places, but you pick up such unique things. I could buy earrings for my wife, and stuff like that because they're unique there. Plus, it's supporting the small business. You get to know the owners.
Yes.
And you get to know your community.
Yes.
And that's your community. And then you get to see things that you can't get anywhere else.
Exactly. And you feel loved. We've always had that. That's our number one thing in our business. Like, you can ask anybody about Jazzys Boutique, and the first thing that they're going to say is their customer service is the greatest. They're the sweetest, most kindest people that will do anything for you. We're all about making it right. If there's something wrong, we make it right for you. And we will do the ends of the earth to try to find you that clothing that you were wanting, So, and we want to keep our prices, affordable, so that way, like I said, the economy is not doing too great right now. And I want to make sure that, people can still get boutique clothes and nice stuff, but not, at an outrageous price.
Right, exactly. And like you said, Jasmine, it's in customer service. People don't realize that there's so many businesses right now that people could run if they want to run it. Most Americans are lazy. See, not all of them, but some of them. And compared to others, there's so many opportunities right now.
Yes.
If you're willing to work.
Yes.
And serve, that's how I've made all my successes through a broom.
Yep.
Through cleaning up, taking out the trash, customer service, making sure things are right, answering the phone, hosting, telling people where to go, that we've got to, people need that friendly face. They need, we don't want to talk to somebody that we don't, in another country or those kind of things. We want to talk to somebody right now. And when you reach out like y'all are doing with customer service, it makes you successful.
Yes. And I love having my own business because, I've touched so many people with my story.
Yeah.
It's ever since my accident, I've always had this thing, and I always tell my mom, and I tell everybody, if I have a pounding on my heart, I know it's God talking to me. And there's this one time, like a couple months after my surgery, my brother took me to Chili's to eat, and so there was a lady that was sitting by herself.
Right.
And I looked over, and I just started having like this big pounding in my heart, and I'm like, oh Lord, what do you want me to do, And then all of a sudden, like, I don't know, I just got up and I was like, I'm going to go talk to this lady. I don't know why, but I'm going to go talk to her. And I went over there and I talked to her and I said, I know you don't know me and I don't know you. And this probably sounds weird, but I feel like God wants me to talk to you and let you know that everything is going to be okay. I don't know what you're going through. And she was actually going through something really, really tragic in her life. And she was like, I just needed to come somewhere and eat, and she's like, and it's just amazing that you came, and like, it was just, I felt so good because I made her night, and not in this day and time, people just don't even, you know what I mean? Like, you can walk by a homeless person and they're like, oh, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But with me, it's like I said, if I have that pounding in my heart, then I know that God wants me to do something for them. And it's opened me up since my accident, and I'm so blessed to have that. And I know for a fact that, and I'm about to cry, but I know for a fact that when I die, I'm going to heaven.
Amen. We can know. It's pretty simple. He ain't trying to hold nobody out.
But it's just having that reassurance because, I got saved whenever I was little, like at Bible school camp. I got saved, and I know I got saved.
Amen.
But over the years, as you grow, you start to wonder, you start to question.
Seasons
and you don't understand. But then it's like a
light comes on.
It does. And my near-death experience was, and this is the most greatest part, but my mama, I was very, very close to my mama, and she passed away that January. And she, like I said, we were really, really close. And during that time of me trying to, I guess, fight back to coming back, she came to my hospital bed and she kissed me on my forehead. And I swear she kissed me on my forehead and she told me it was not my time to go. And when she did that, it was like the light in here was bright.
Yeah.
And it was white. And then I woke back up and I had all my family around me and I'm like, what are y'all doing here? What am I in the hospital, you know? And everybody's like,
where's the marshmallows?
Yeah.
where's my s'mores?
Yeah,
I
where's
was
my
camping.
s'mores?
What's going on here?
And I'm like, because the last thing that I remember too was earlier that night, I was sawing wood because I love to saw wood.
Right.
I don't know why, but I love sawing wood and I love fires. So.
I'll get you the business since you like saw wood. But here you go.
And I cut my finger. And I wake up in the hospital and I ask my mom, I'm like, am I in the hospital for cutting my finger?
Wow.
Like just a tiny little cut. And she said, no, baby, you were shot in the head. And it just all then just, and I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just reality and back. It was just, I
Reality
wish
and
if
back.
anybody could, I don't know, if anybody could go through that, I mean, it was just amazing. Like I felt like it's hard to describe, but it was wonderful. It was peaceful. I feel so peace now.
That's all he brings us.
Like
that's awesome,
it's amazing.
Jasmine. I love stories like that. That's what I want to hear. I love hearing people tell with passion, you know, their encounter with the Lord. And it was the same way with me at a young age. But, you know, now it's so much more.
Yes.
Oh, gosh. I couldn't do broadcasting because every story that comes on the TV, I'm crying. I'm a mess. You know, there's so many injustices out there. But, you know, I'm always first to cry. And I'm with you, sis, on that because you got that passion. And the Lord's all about that passion and that emotion. And there's people out there that they don't realize how short life is. And but how much hope there is, and how much peace can come over you. A praying grandmother.
Yes.
I thank the Lord.
I'm telling you, I just
talk for a minute. Grandmama's, mama's.
Yes.
Praying people, touching people, laying hands on people, encouraging people in hospitals, whatever the case be. There's miracles.
There is.
And God does have a purpose. And look at you now.
Yes.
You know, you're able to carry on, have business, bring life to other people, touch other people's lives.
And I just want to show and tell everybody that no matter what you go through in your life, you can overcome it and you can overachieve it, because I have went through pain like no other. And I've went through so much in my experience that here I am today, and I am so thankful for everything that has happened to me, because it has made me a stronger, much better person, and it really, you know, snapped me back in reality. You know, God gave me a little checkup because, you know,
we need that.
We need that.
That's
and
for sure.
I guess that was something that needed to happen in my life. You know, I don't have any regrets at all. And I think, you know, it's wonderful. I mean, I hate to say that, but I mean, it's wonderful that I had this brain injury because it brought me closer to the Lord.
Right. Sometimes those things, even like Jacob, when he wrestled with God, you know, you walk away, you know, we have those things in our life. Sometimes that's the way we can get our attention.
Yes.
And it's for God's glory anyway. You're here speaking, you're a miracle. And man, I'm so encouraged today, Jasmin. And thanks for being on the program. Man,
You're welcome.
The podcast, I mean, it's this is going to encourage a lot of people. So stay tuned. Look up Jasmin Lytle and see her business, and all the things will be on the podcast. We'll put links, and thanks for being with us. More stories like this soon.